What would you do if you checked your bank account and suddenly found out you were a millionaire? That happened to a former Louisiana sheriff's dispatcher, and instead of notifying the bank, she quickly moved the cash into another account, used it to buy a home and an SUV. Kellen Spadoni, who you see here, was arrested for theft, and tonight is facing a lawsuit from Charles Schwab after she ignored several of their attempts, they say, to contact her and get the money back.
You deposit $86, and then you go to check your bank account, and you see 1.2. What is your next move?
Who you want to answer first?
Man, I would be very afraid. I'd be very afraid. I'll probably log out, log in about 5 times before I accepted it. No, I ain't messing.
What would you do? What would your next move be?
Man, to find out who money it is.
You calling the bank?
I'm calling the bank. Yeah, I'm calling somebody. Not to stunt. I'm calling. I think that's what happened. I ain't stunting nothing.
He said, we ain't going on no vacations. No, we ain't doing that. I'm going to just keep it 100. I would have kept the money because first and foremost, I've learned about these type of scenarios. It is not the customer's fault. See, and if she's smart and she's got that money, she'll go ahead and hire an attorney and they'll fight the case out and say somewhere they're going to make her return some of it. But if she fought for it, she could actually keep that. That's actually, these are situations that have, you can go watch case laws on, or old case laws on shit like that. There is no crime if a bank makes a mistake and deposited money into your account. None whatsoever. They can't even prove it. They just put the fear on you because they got the pockets to get the dogs on you.
She was arrested and she lost her job.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd kept the money. I'm just being honest with you. And if I didn't keep it all, I damn sure would extract enough to say, hey, this will get your boy by for a couple of years. I probably took a couple $100,000 off real quick.
You would have took it out of the bank account?
Yes, I sure would have. I would have transferred it somewhere else, went and got it out and did other things with it and said, nah, before y'all get it back, I'm going to make my money off this. I'm going to make some interest off this.
That one is a scenario. I don't know, dog. I don't know on this one. That's why it's hard because I would want to keep it, of course, but then I'm thinking about the consequences.
I tell them what they would tell me. If you think there's a accounting error on my account, you have a legal department, don't you? Don't talk to me. I would treat them the same way they treat us.
But then again, how you gonna explain that shit with taxes?
See, that's what I'm saying. You set yourself up. And that's why I said there's no excuse for a bank to try to incriminate you for an error on their part. I didn't steal nothing. So we definitely not finna let you charge me for no crime like that. What's the crime? That I was walking down the street and found a box on the ground that happened to have money in it? There's no crime. See, and that's why I said we be getting played, because that's one of them issues where the bank wasn't acting in good faith. They could have easily chalked that up to insurance.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm just thinking, like we said earlier, I'm thinking about the consequences for me. That's all I'm really focusing on. If I keep this, what's the worst that could happen? And that I really wouldn't know. I would probably contact an attorney. That'd probably be the first one I would call.
I've had it happen to me before. That's why I can tell y'all that. It wasn't nowhere near no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I've had, when I was dealing around with them, I had a scenario where I had more money in there than I knew I put in there. And when they came talking about it, I was like, hey, man, I don't know how to help y'all. End of story. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. I'm being honest. So when you say the consequences, see, because I'm already aware that I did not commit a crime, the consequence for me now is just proving if I'm entitled to it.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Sometimes if ignorance, there's no excuse, right? So if I feel like I'm entitled to it, that's like saying I found a car with the keys in it, so I feel like I'm entitled to it. But the law says otherwise. I might feel like I'm entitled to it, but it's consequences. And I can't go before the judge and say, look, I didn't know. You have more knowledge about it than I do. So that's why I said I would call somebody who have that motherfucking knowledge and then roll with them. And then if they would tell me to turn it in, I will call another attorney until I get the answer.
Let me share this then, Tim, since you say it that way. See, you gave the ultimate example. Problem is you said I was walking down the street and saw a car there. That's theft. You know what I'm saying? Instant.
So what about in your driveway?
That's what I was getting ready to say. If I walked out in the morning and saw a car sitting in my driveway parked, nobody's around, keys sitting there, first, I might get on the phone and ask the cops, hey, you want to run these plates and see if somebody stole the car, put it in my shit? I might do that much,
Okay.
Because I just don't even want the headache of some shit like that. But
Right.
if I do decide to claim it, guess what property rights tell me? Property laws tell me. That's right there in property rights.
Damn. What would you do, Free Think? A car parked in your driveway with keys in it.
I wouldn't mind my own business. I wouldn't even look. See, I don't mess around. I don't mess. Hey, man,
I see.
I don't mess around, dog, with none of that shit. I try to be as righteous as I can be for real, seriously.
But see, that's where that argument comes in. This is what I'm glad you said that, Free Think, because this is not a moral conversation. That's not a moral decision. It's one that has to be legalized, meaning, can they prove that I somehow did something to break the law for that car to be sitting in my yard?
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? If I didn't break no laws, I'm not under no consequence of a law. You see what I'm saying? Only thing I'm under consequence of is if somebody puts out a lost and found request. That's it.
Okay, I get you. Like I said, you could tell you more informed. With me, with that car, I'm gonna call somebody and get some information on what I can do. If I could keep it, they might say, okay, you got a year. If nobody claimed the title, is yours type shit. Then I'll do it legally. I'm more like Free Thing on the conservative side because I don't want to cause more pain on myself.
Right.
But this goes to what you were saying, to your point, Ramon.
Last time I checked, we have a criminal court of law, not a moral court of law. And morally, this woman is incorrect, and she should do the right thing and transfer the money back. But the law is on her side, believe it or not. And I think it's going to trump that agreement that she signed, that she probably didn't even know what she signed, probably didn't even know what she read. But real quick, theft, felony theft is the charge. That means that this woman had to deprive money of someone else without their consent. Charles Schwab sent her the money, so that charge is going to get dropped. The last charge against her is bank wire fraud. Again, she has to show an intent to deprive Charles Schwab of money. Last time I checked, Charles Schwab made a mistake and sent the money to her. In the real world, she might walk free and she might have $1.2 million and she might have a wrongful termination case against the sheriff's department for firing her. They shouldn't have done that.
Damn.
Woo!
The charges against Kellen Spadoni were dropped after her arrest. Despite avoiding jail time, she was required to complete an adult diversion program. Around 75% of the funds were recovered by authorities after Spadoni used part of the money to purchase a car and a house.
So if a situation like this ever arises in your life, you know what actions to take to minimize that unnecessary pain that no one feels but you.